Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy. Do you want to dramatically improve the sound quality in your Mini Cooper? I'll show you how. All right, guys, let's talk about this project a little bit and the reason why you want to do this before we get started. Now, I love BMW and Mini Coopers made by BMW, but one of the places I find that really can have the most dramatic improvement is in the sound system itself. Now, Bimmertech makes some fantastic upgrades, and even if you still have the OEM speakers, whether the Hi-Fi or the Harman Kardon, or if you haven't upgraded to the Alpha Ones yet from Bimmertech, an amp upgrade can make a huge difference. Now, with the brand new 2023, this is the new amp from Bimmertech, and this is going to make a dramatic difference in the car. This gives a higher quality sound, it gives you a higher range, and is actually programmable, which is really, really cool. There's all kinds of different setups you can go through in this, though it does come, in general, with the proper setup for your car. But if you really want to deep dive into how your car is set up, you can even program it. Now, that aside, this is not a hard install. I want to walk you through the whole thing, so let's dive into the car. All right, y'all, so here we are looking here in the trunk. So I've kind of removed the lower board to begin with, and now this is one of those deals where we can see the amp really easy. So when we look at this and we pull back the carpet right here, hey, look. There's your existing OEM amp right there. But the problem is, as you can see, there's some bolts to get to and there's some other parts. There is no way we're going to be able to pull that out of this little hole. So I'm afraid we're going to have to take the carpet off. So I'm going to walk you through all those different steps. I'll show you what it looks like as we go through it. But at a high level, really quickly, you've got your typical plastic BMW pressure fit kind of plastic pin right here. You've got another right here. You've got a screw right here. When you pull this cover off, which I will in a second, there is a big Torx bolt right here underneath this. I think it's a T45. I'll tell you in a second once I have that off. There's another matching on your cargo loop right here. There's another one right here. So we're gonna have to pull all of these to get this carpet out just so we can get to the amp. The install itself is not hard, and it's really too bad that we can't, this door wasn't a little bigger. If this door was about this much bigger, we could just not have to take the carpet off at all. But we're gonna have to, okay? So let me rearrange a little bit, get the proper tools, and I'll show you taking all of those out. All right, y'all, so as you can tell, I've got the carpet down now. The nice thing about this is the way the carpet is set in, you don't even need to take it down. I just used a cord to help keep it out of the way for right now. Here is your stock amp. Super simple. We're just gonna simply take this, should be 8mm bolt out. We've got your typical BMW little horse collar right here where you depress the tab and then walk the collar back. Just like that, okay? So go ahead and take an 8mm, pull this out after you've pulled that trim to be able to lay the carpet down, and then we'll take the existing amp out. This is a really straightforward, pretty easy install. Okay, y'all, so as you can see, it's out. It's really, really simple. You just take that one 8mm bolt out and then just feed it back out of place. Here's the wiring harness that you took off. This really couldn't be an easier install. This is something you should absolutely and should do yourself. So I've got the existing amp out. Here's the new one. It's gonna go right back in the same position. You can tell the orientation it goes in just with the same tab that's gonna go with that 8mm bolt. Now, go ahead and plug all of the wiring harness in. They only go into one place, so you don't even have to worry about where those go. So the main block plug goes here, speaker output plug goes here, power goes here. Here is your cable that your existing wiring harness plug is going to go into, and that's that. At the other end, you have the USB cable. And like I said earlier, this is a programmable amp. So if you wanted to, you can connect a laptop, you can get the DSP amp, and you can be changing the settings. Now, in general, I don't recommend it because these come set up already for the proper car, the proper setup, and unless you really know what you're doing, there's no reason to change it. Now, all of that said, and it's gonna be hard to show one-handed because there's a little bit of the plastic trim in the way right here, but just pull the trim back, slide this back into place. There are little slanted fingers like these on the bottom that are just gonna slot into place, and then put in the 8mm bolt. Take your existing wiring harness plug it into the new, and you're good to go. So let me get all that done, then we're just gonna put the carpet back into place and test, and you're done. So everything is all tucked away at this point, as you can see. Now I'm gonna leave the USB cable plugged in, but all coiled up right here where you can get to it from this door if you really needed to, right? Make sure to tuck all the rest of your wiring harness away really nice and neat and clean so you don't get any rattles or anything similar. but it really is that simple. So go ahead and put your carpet back up into place. Go ahead and put your tow hook bolts back in, those RT40s. Put your plastic back on and all the plastic rivets for the carpet, and the install is done. Then just fire the car up and test. All right, so all buttoned up and tucked away. So this is your opportunity to go ahead and try it out. So go ahead and turn your car on, test all of your different sound. I recommend with your equalizer settings, have everything just neutral right down the middle to the start. Your amp is tuned and set up properly for this car. But you can always find adjust later, but I'd usually start with neutral settings. Now, I am not going to play any sound or music as a test, simply because number one, my camera won't do it justice, and number two, YouTube loves to take things down if I'm playing some track from some artist. But the install's all done, so go ahead and put your little cover back on, wrap up, clean up, you're all done. Good job. All right, you also go and wrap up and clean up and put your tools away. As you can tell, this is probably one of the easiest installs you're going to do, and it is going to make a huge difference. Now, I went ahead and go ahead and tested the system. Like I said, I can't play any music on the video, I'm sorry, but it sounds much, much better. The whole sound system sounds significantly stronger, and this is with the OEM HK speakers. I highly recommend you pair this with the upgraded Alpha Ones from Bimmertech, but even if you just have the OEM speakers, it makes a huge difference. So make sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much to Bimmertech for making such a fantastic product to work with. And it is such an easy install. You should absolutely do this yourself. I appreciate you watching. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. It makes a genuine difference to my channel, and I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you on my next project.